Good evening, little ones, and welcome to Big Stories for Big Ears. It's time to settle down and see if tonight's tales can fit in your cute little ears. As always, I've got some really big stories for you, and I'm not sure they'll fit in there. So let's stretch those ears out and make them bigger, just for a little while. Then we'll get to the stories, I promise. Take your hands and gently grab your earlobes. The earlobes are that soft part at the bottom of your ear. Now very slowly pull those little earlobes down towards your belly. Remember, be very gentle. Now move your fingers up a little bit and gently pull that middle part of your ears. Let's grab the very top of our ears and stretch them up towards the tops of our heads. Back to the earlobes now. Gently pull them down. Let's check if your ears are bigger now. Yeah, you did a good job. They need to get a little bit bigger though, so stretch that top part of your ears one more time. Do you feel that little fold on your ear? Go ahead and roll that out and run your fingers down the edge of the ear, stretching out each part as you go. Very good. I'm sure the stories will fit now. So let's get started. Settle in and enjoy tonight's tales. Our first story tonight takes place under the sea. Once upon a time, in the deep sea where the water is very dark and cool, there was a kingdom ruled by a kind king named Triton. In this kingdom lived a little seahorse named Alari. Alari didn't have any parents, but he had a wise octopus friend named Ollie who took care of him. In the underwater kingdom, Alari and Ollie sometimes struggled to find enough food to eat. They would often sneak into the bustling market, where colorful fish traded shiny pearls and all the different kinds of food you could possibly imagine. One day, Alari and Ollie crept into the market, their bellies rumbling with hunger. They eyed the plump sea cucumbers and juicy seaweed, but they could only afford one small clam to share. Quietly walking away with their measly lunch, they accidentally bumped into a crab merchant, causing his precious pearls to scatter across the seabed. The crab merchant, furious at them for causing his wares to go tumbling, chased after Alari and Ollie with his pincers snapping angrily. Alari and Ollie swam as fast as they could, dodging through coral reefs and weaving between startled fish. The crab merchant, determined to catch them, summoned his friends, a school of fast-swimming barracudas. With sharp teeth glinting in the sunlight, the barracudas joined the chase, their menacing presence closing in on Alari and Ollie. But just when it seemed like they were trapped, Alari spotted a narrow passage between two towering rocks. With a burst of speed, they dashed through the gap, narrowly avoiding the snapping jaws of their pursuers. As they emerged on the other side, Alari and Ollie let out a sigh of relief, their hearts pounding with adrenaline. They had escaped the clutches of the angry merchant and his barracuda allies, but they knew they would have to be more careful next time if they ventured into the market. One day, while Alari was exploring an ancient underwater cave, he found a shiny lamp buried in the sand. Alari picked up the lamp and brought it out of the cave to have a better look at it in the light filtering through the water. The lamp was covered in beautiful patterns, but Alari couldn't really make out what they were supposed to look like. When he rubbed the lamp to get some sand off it, a swirling mist of glowing light appeared, lighting up the dark ocean. A genie called Aquarus popped out of the light mist. He looked like he was made of water and had a kind smile and twinkling eyes. He was covered in shiny scales that glowed and moved, showing off all the colors of the sea. His fins floated around him like ribbons, making him look even more magical. Aquarus said hello to Alari and Ollie with a voice that sounded like a song underwater. He seemed really wise and powerful, like a guardian of the lamp's magic. Aquarus told them he would grant Alari 3 wishes. Alari and Ollie were amazed and excited to have such a magical friend with them. They knew they were about to go on an amazing adventure with Aquarus by their side, discovering the incredible things hidden in the deep sea. For his first wish, Alari wished for the ability to understand and communicate with all the creatures of the sea. With a flick of Aquarus's fin, Alari was granted the magical gift of speaking the language of the ocean. Now Alari could talk to all the colorful fish, wise turtles, and even the mysterious creatures of the deep. He could learn from them, share stories, and make new friends wherever he swam. It was a wish that opened up a whole new world of adventure and discovery for Alari and Ollie. With his new friend in tow, Alari went on amazing adventures in the deep sea. They swam through colorful coral reefs, discovering hidden caves filled with sparkling treasures. Aquarus showed Alari secret underwater gardens where rare sea flowers bloomed, and they danced with schools of shimmering fish. Together they explored sunken ships and ancient ruins, uncovering mysteries of the ocean's past. With Aquarus's magic and Alari's bravery, they journeyed to the darkest depths of the sea, facing challenges and making new friends along the way. It was an exciting time filled with laughter, wonder, and endless possibilities. One sunny day in the underwater kingdom, Alari was exploring near the colorful coral reefs when he spotted a group of seahorses playing a game of tag. Among them was a beautiful seahorse princess with shimmering scales of blue and green. Alari couldn't help but be amazed by this princess's grace and elegance as she darted through the water, her mane of flowing seaweed trailing behind her. With a shy smile, Alari swam closer, eager to introduce himself to the enchanting princess. "Hi there, I'm Alari," he said, his voice bubbling with excitement. She turned to him with a friendly smile, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Hello, Alari. I'm Marina," she replied, her voice as gentle as the ocean breeze. As they swam together, Alari and Marina discovered they shared a love for exploring the wonders of the sea. They laughed and talked about their favorite underwater adventures, bonding over their shared passion for the ocean. From that moment on, Alari and Marina became fast friends, their laughter echoing through the coral reefs as they embarked on new adventures together. And as they swam side by side, they knew that their friendship could only grow stronger with each passing tide. Alari soon learned that Marina was in trouble because she didn't want to marry a mean sea serpent prince named Jafnir, so Alari decided to help her. Jafnir had dark, shiny scales and sharp teeth that looked scary when he smiled. With his scary yellow eyes and a mean grin, Jafnir would swim around, scaring other sea creatures. He liked to play tricky games and control everything around him. Other sea creatures were afraid of Jafnir because they knew he would do anything to get what he wanted. He ruled over his part of the ocean and made everyone obey him. So for his second wish, Alari asked Aquarus for something very important. He wanted to be brave enough to stand up to Jafnir, the mean sea serpent prince. Alari knew that Jafnir was causing trouble for his friends and wanted to protect them. With a kind smile, Aquarus granted Alari's wish. Suddenly, Alari felt a surge of courage coursing through him, as if he had a shield of bravery wrapped around him. He no longer felt afraid of Jafnir's intimidating presence. When Jafnir showed up, ready to cause trouble as usual, Alari didn't back down. With determination in his heart, Alari stood tall and faced Jafnir head-on. He told Jafnir that he wouldn't let him bully his friends anymore. Jafnir, taken aback by Alari's newfound bravery, tried to intimidate him with his sharp teeth and scary hiss. But Alari didn't flinch. With every ounce of courage he had, he stood firm and faced Jafnir's threats with bravery. In an epic underwater battle, Alari and Jafnir clashed, their tails swirling and splashing as they fought. With the help of Aquarus's magic, Alari dodged Jafnir's attacks and fought back bravely. And in the end, it was Alari who emerged victorious. With one final brave move, he outsmarted Jafnir and sent him swimming back in defeat. Marina watched in awe, her heart filled with gratitude for her brave friend. Alari's bravery had saved the day, proving that even the smallest creatures could stand up to bullies and make a difference. Marina swam over to Alari, her eyes shining with admiration and gratitude. She knew she could always count on her brave friend to protect her and their underwater kingdom. Finally, after all their adventures, Alari knew exactly what he wanted to ask for with his last wish. He looked at Aquarus with big, determined eyes and said, "I wish for everyone in the sea to be happy and safe." Aquarus smiled warmly at Alari's caring wish and nodded. With a magical flick of his fin, Aquarus made Alari's wish come true. Suddenly, the whole ocean seemed to light up with happiness. Fish swam around, laughing and playing. Dolphins danced in the waves, and even the coral reefs looked brighter and happier. All the sea creatures who used to be scared of Jafnir now felt safe and free. They swam around without fear, knowing that they were protected by Alari's wish and Aquarus's magic. As days went by, the ocean stayed peaceful and happy. Sea creatures of all kinds lived together in harmony, sharing their home with each other and having fun. Alari watched all this with a big smile on his face. He was so happy to see everyone in the sea enjoying themselves because of his wish. And so, because of Alaris's caring wish and Aquarus's magic, the ocean stayed a happy and safe place for a long, long time. Alari became a hero to all the sea creatures, showing that even a little seahorse can make a big difference in the world. Oh, what a sweet story. That Alari guy sounds like a great friend. Our next tale tonight takes place in a cozy nest deep inside the woods. Once upon a time, in a deep, dense forest, there lived a family of owls. There was Papa Owl, Mama Owl, and their little owlets, Ollie and Olivia. They lived high up in a big old oak tree where the moonlight danced through the leaves and the stars twinkled every night. One day the owls heard exciting news from the other animals in the forest. There was going to be a solar eclipse. It was a special event when the moon would cover the sun, turning the bright day into a mysterious twilight. The owls were thrilled. They had never seen such a thing before. But there was a little problem. Owls are nocturnal creatures, which means they usually sleep during the day and are awake at night. The solar eclipse was going to happen during the daytime. If they wanted to see it, they would have to stay awake when they normally slept. Papa Owl suggested they make a plan to stay awake for the eclipse. They decided to take turns keeping watch so that everyone could see the amazing sight. They gathered together in their cozy nest, excitement fluttering in their hearts. As the owls settled into their nest, they knew they had a challenge ahead of them: staying awake during the daytime. To keep each other from falling asleep, they came up with clever ways to stay entertained and alert. First, Papa Owl started telling silly owl jokes.
Why did the owl invite his friends over? Because he didn't want to be owl by himself. Woohoo!
He hooted, causing the whole family to giggle. Mama Owl followed up with her own joke. What do you call an owl magician?
Houdini!
The little owlets laughed so hard that they almost forgot they were supposed to be staying awake. To keep their energy up, they nibbled on delicious snacks Mama Owl had prepared earlier. They were crunchy bugs and the juiciest berries. The owlets especially loved the crunchy bugs, and they eagerly shared them with each other, making sure nobody felt left out. But the most fun they had was playing games together. They played a game of who can hoot the loudest, where they took turns seeing who could make the biggest hoot. Ollie surprised everyone with his surprisingly loud hoot, earning him the title of Hooting Champion. Then they played owl hide and seek among the branches of their oak tree. Mama Owl pretended to be a wise old tree, while Papa Owl and the owlets flew around trying to find the best hiding spots. Then, before opening her eyes to find them, Mama Owl would hoot, "Ready or not, I'll come find you." They had so much fun chasing each other through the branches, their laughter echoing through the forest. With jokes, snacks, and games to keep them entertained, the owls managed to stay awake throughout the entire solar eclipse. And as they watched the sky turn dark and then brighten again, they knew they had shared a truly special and memorable day together as a family. It was a breathtaking sight. The owls huddled together, marveling at the beauty of the solar eclipse. They watched as the sky turned dark and the stars began to twinkle in the middle of the day. The solar eclipse was a special event when the moon moved in front of the sun, blocking its light for a little while. It made the daytime sky turn dark like nighttime, but not completely. The sun looked like a big dark circle with a bright ring around it, It was a magical sight that happened only once in a while, and it made everything around seem mysterious and quiet. Even though they were tired from staying awake, the owls didn't want to miss a single moment of the eclipse. They knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and they were grateful to share it together as a family. As the eclipse came to an end and the sun peeked out from behind the moon, the owls felt a deep sense of wonder and awe. They knew that this day would be a cherished memory for years to come, a reminder of the magic that could be found in the world around them. After the solar eclipse ended and the sky started to brighten again, the owl family felt their eyelids growing heavy. They had stayed awake all day to watch the amazing event, and now they were very tired. With slow, sleepy movements, Papa Owl led the way as they hopped inside the hollow tree they called home. The entrance was a small hole in the trunk, just big enough for them to fit through. Mama Owl followed closely behind, her feathers ruffled from a long day of excitement. The owlets, Ollie and Olivia, stumbled along behind their parents, their eyes drooping with exhaustion.
They yawned wide.
Showing off their sharp beaks and fluffy feathers as they made their way into the cozy darkness of the tree. Inside, the hollow tree felt like a safe and snug nest. The walls were made of rough wood, with patches of moss and lichen growing here and there. It smelled of earth and leaves, comforting and familiar to the owl family. Papa Owl found a soft spot in the corner of the hollow and settled down first, his eyes already closing as he nestled into the warm space. Mama Owl joined him, tucking her wings around herself and her mate, creating a soft, feathery cocoon. Ollie and Olivia curled up next to their parents, their little bodies pressed close together for warmth. They sighed contentedly as they finally allowed their tired bodies to relax. With a few last sleepy hoots and murmurs, the owl family drifted off to sleep, their breathing slow and steady in the quiet darkness of their hollow tree. It had been an unforgettable day, filled with wonder and adventure, but now it was time for rest. And as they snuggled together in their cozy nest, the owl family knew that they would always cherish the memories they had made under the darkened sky. I just love owls, don't you? The heroes of our last story tonight are curious creatures living their lives in slow motion. Once upon a time, in a cozy forest, there lived a sloth named Sammy. Sammy was a slow sloth, but he was always happy hanging out in the trees with his friends and family. Sammy's family was a close-knit group of sloths who lived together high up in the treetops of the lush forest. They were a small but loving family, consisting of Sam, his mom, dad, and two siblings, a brother named Stanley and a sister named Sally. Sammy's mom was gentle and nurturing, always looking out for her children and making sure they had everything they needed. She had a warm smile and a calming presence that made the tree they lived in feel like home. Sammy's dad was strong and protective, with a deep voice that rumbled like distant thunder. He taught Sammy and his siblings important lessons about survival in the forest, from finding the best leaves to knowing which branches were the best to nap on. Stanley, Sammy's older brother, was adventurous and curious, always eager to explore new parts of the forest. He often led Sammy on slow-paced expeditions through the treetops, showing him all the secret hiding spots and best climbing routes. Sally, Sammy's younger sister, was sweet and playful, with a mischievous twinkle in her eye. She loved to play games with Sammy and their siblings, inventing new ways to have fun in their leafy home. Together, Sammy and his family shared many happy moments in the forest, from lazy days lounging in the sun to exciting adventures exploring the canopy. They supported each other through thick and thin, knowing that no matter what challenges they faced, they could always count on the love and strength of their family. One sunny day, Sammy heard about a big eucalyptus eating festival happening in the forest. He was excited because eucalyptus leaves were his absolute favorite. As Sammy and his friends set off for the festival, they embarked on a leisurely journey through the swaying treetops. The branches gently swayed with the rhythm of the breeze, carrying the sloths along at their own unhurried pace. With each slow and deliberate movement, Sammy and his friends navigated the intricate maze of branches and leaves. They took their time, pausing now and then to admire the vibrant colors of the forest canopy and listen to the soothing sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. As they climbed higher and higher, the sun filtered through the dense foliage, casting dappled patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor below. Sammy could feel the warmth of the sun on his fur, and he closed his eyes, soaking in the peacefulness of the moment. Occasionally, they would stop to nibble on a tender leaf or take a short nap in the crook of a sturdy branch. Time seemed to slow down as they moved through the treetops, far away from the hustle and bustle of the world below. With each slow and deliberate movement, they inched closer to their destination, the anticipation building with each branch they crossed. And as the distant chatter of other sloths grew louder, Sammy and his friends knew they were nearing the festival. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, but was really just a slow and steady journey, they arrived at the festival. With a contented sigh, Sammy looked around at the bustling activity below and felt a sense of satisfaction, knowing that they had made it, all in their own time, and Sammy's eyes lit up with joy. There were so many different kinds of eucalyptus leaves to choose from. Sammy and his friends took their time exploring all the different trees, taking their time savoring each leaf. They approached the lush green trees with a sense of anticipation, their slow movements deliberate and purposeful. As they reached out their long clawed arms, they carefully selected the juiciest leaves, examining them with keen eyesight. With a gentle grasp, they plucked the leaves from the branches, relishing the satisfying snap as the stems broke free. Bringing the leaves to their mouths, they savored each bite, letting the delicious flavor fill their senses. They chewed slowly, allowing the rich taste to linger on their tongues, while the fragrant aroma of eucalyptus enveloped them in a comforting embrace. With each leaf they consumed, they closed their eyes in bliss, lost in the moment of pure gastronomic delight. Time seemed to stand still as they savored the simple pleasure of good food shared with good friends. And as they continued to munch away, their contented smiles spoke volumes, expressing their gratitude for the abundance of nature and the joy of camaraderie. For Sammy and his friends, each leaf was not just a meal, but a celebration of life's simple pleasures, enjoyed one slow and deliberate bite at a time. After sampling nearly every type of leaf available, they finally found their favorite type of eucalyptus. They were big and juicy, just the way they liked them. Sammy and his friends happily munched away, savoring the delicious flavor. As they ate, they chatted and laughed with the other sloths at the festival. It was a wonderful day filled with good food and great company. After munching on lots of yummy eucalyptus leaves at the festival, Sammy and his sloth friends started feeling very sleepy. Their bellies were full, and the warm sun made them feel cozy and relaxed. With each bite of eucalyptus, they felt their eyelids getting heavier and heavier. Their bodies felt all warm and fuzzy, and before they knew it, they were yawning. Big slothy yawns. Sammy suggested they find a comfy spot to have a little nap before heading back home. His friends agreed, their eyes already halfway closed with sleepiness. They found a nice, sturdy branch with plenty of leaves for a soft bed. Slowly and carefully, they curled up together, feeling the gentle sway of the tree and the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. Some of them decided to sleep hanging from the branch, just like they usually did. They curled their long arms around the branch and let their bodies relax. Slowly they drifted off to sleep, swaying gently in the breeze. With each slow breath, their chests rose and fell like gentle waves lapping against the shore. The warm sun filtered through the leaves, casting a soft glow over their sleepy faces. As they nestled into their cozy spot on the branch, they closed their eyes, shutting out the dappled light of the forest. Their breathing slowed even more, becoming steady and rhythmic. Their bodies relaxed, muscles loosening as they sank deeper into the embrace of sleep. The sounds of the forest faded into the background, replaced by the gentle rustle of leaves and the occasional chirp of a bird. With each passing moment, they drifted further and further into slumber until finally they were completely asleep, their minds filled with dreams of lazy days and peaceful adventures in the treetops. And there they lay, wrapped in the tranquility of the forest, lost in the blissful embrace of sleep. Time seemed to stand still as they rested, their breathing soft and steady, until eventually the whole world faded away and they were lost to dreams. The next morning, Sammy and his sloth friends woke up feeling refreshed and ready to head back home. They stretched their arms and legs lazily, yawning big slothy yawns. They stretched their arms and legs lazily, yawning big, slothy yawns as they slowly emerged from their peaceful slumber. With sleepy eyes and fuzzy heads, they took their time getting up from their comfy spot on the branch. They blinked in the soft morning light, adjusting to the gentle brightness filtering through the leaves. Once they were all awake and ready, they began their slow journey home. They moved with deliberate steps, taking their time to enjoy the sights and sounds of the forest waking up around them. The leaves rustled softly beneath their feet as they made their way along the branch, swaying gently with each step. They paused now and then to nibble on a tender leaf or to admire the colorful flowers blooming in the canopy. The sun rose higher in the sky, casting shadows across the forest floor. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers and the chirping of birds greeting the new day. Sammy and his sloth friends moved at their own unhurried pace, knowing that there was no need to rush. They enjoyed each moment of their slow journey, savoring the simple pleasures of being together in the forest. And as they finally reached the familiar branches of their home tree, they felt a sense of contentment wash over them. They had taken their time, enjoyed the journey, and now they were back where they belonged, surrounded by the love and warmth of their forest home. After returning home from the Eucalyptus festival, Sammy nestled into his favorite spot on a sturdy branch of their home tree. He felt cozy and content as he recounted his adventures to his family. With each word he spoke, Sammy's family listened attentively, their eyes growing heavy with sleep. The warmth of their cozy tree and the gentle rhythm of Sammy's voice lulled them into a sense of calm. As Sammy finished his story, he could see the sleepy smiles on his family's faces. They exchanged quiet goodnights and gentle hugs before setting down for the night. As the sun set, Sammy slowly climbed up to his spot in the tree. He took his time, feeling each branch beneath his feet, making sure it was just right. Once he was settled in, he snuggled close to his family, feeling their warmth beside him. He listened to the gentle rustle of leaves as they shifted in their sleep, the soft sounds of their breathing soothing to his ears. Sammy took a deep breath, inhaling the familiar scent of home, a mix of earthy moss, fresh leaves, and the sweet fragrance of flowers. It filled his lungs, calming his mind and reminding him that he was exactly where he belonged. Outside, the rainforest came alive with the symphony of nighttime sounds. He heard the gentle patter of raindrops on the leaves, the distant hoot of an owl, and the chirping of crickets in the underbrush. Sammy closed his eyes, feeling the rhythm of the forest surrounding him. He smiled contentedly, knowing that he was safe and snug in his cozy tree, surrounded by the love of his family and the beauty of the rainforest. As Sammy snuggled in his tree, his breathing slowed down. Each breath he took became slower and softer, like a gentle whisper in the night. His body felt heavy and relaxed, sinking deeper into the cozy embrace of the branches. His muscles loosened, and his limbs felt like they were made of soft marshmallows. With every breath, Sammy felt himself drifting further and further away from the waking world. His mind grew quiet and his thoughts began to fade into the peaceful darkness. As he nestled into his cozy spot, surrounded by the comforting sounds of the forest, Sammy felt a sense of calm wash over him. And with a contented sigh, he let himself drift off into a peaceful slumber, dreaming sweet, slothy dreams. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight.